So we do have 12 players. We do have people getting ready to go. Of course, this is the lockdown throwdown tough. Of course, I am eepily joined with GrumpyKoi, and we're going to be getting into this game in just a few minutes. Feeling it, buddy. I'm feeling it. Grumpy, take it away here on this mid. What are we looking at?
Okay, so we're going to see things set up right now as both teams are going forward. We've got Kato and Nazboy working their way. Kato looks a little bit quicker as now they're going to be exchanging, looking to deal a little bit of damage onto the people going in. So much pressure onto Kato. He does go down. That's 2 for Super Buckworld, but they're pressuring out. Look at this surrounding of them. But they have gone down. Solentes is going to go down. Captain down as well. It's weird seeing him on scout, but he's doing some good work. But Hermzilla actually gets a frag. He does go down in the end. And now it's just Tiger on his own. Cadus looking to join him, but the scout's just coming in through choke. Big meat shot onto that scout though. Going to be able to back out Gaz, force him away. Don't want to 1v1 Tiger. He will take you out. And that's exactly what he does. He's going to pressure out that demo. And we're going to see the last dregs. Maybe some more coming in eepily, but that's going to be Super Buckworld taking this mid unless we see a push back in from 6. They're not willing to give it away, but now they've fully committed, so they have to start getting frags. And they are going to get Solentes first. But now Starkey's gone in, looking to deal some damage onto the soldier and choke this. Split apart Super Buckworld. And 6 retaking the mid. And actually, Starkey going to die in behind eepily. Long mid fight. Actually going to go to 6.
Yeah, it was scrappy. You thought, just as Super Buckworld seemed to just about clinch it out, they didn't quite, but actually, that is Tiger getting very, very aggressive towards second. He had no real business staying there, but he gets that bit of damage, escapes as well, showing a little bit of a scout prowess there. But ultimately, the only thing that matters right now is Jorge's massive Uber advantage, which we're already seeing in upper lobby now. It's about 40% now, getting these last remaining little buffs before they look to push through here straight onto last. 75% on Permzilla. They can't afford to wait forever right now. I'm seeing a little fight towards water. Just about Nubby picks up Starkey, but actually they're being so slow with this Uber advantage. Actually, just going to treat it as equal.
Yeah, they're gonna lose it. I don't know if they necessarily. They must have known they had that much advantage. I can see Nazboy in choke, lower choke, looking to go in below shutter, but doesn't decide to do it through main. And now they're actually backing out. They've lost Nubby. They're gonna set things up. But they got the force out of Perm. Perm is used, so now Jorge's got a huge advantage. I think they're just going to be waiting for Nubby to come back and join them and push forward. Do we see any far-reaching traps out of Cadus? No, very, very passive. As they're going to be waiting for this Uber. They're going to look to deal with it. They've got the classic Pyro Sentry combo on Gully Wash. Just the staple of what you expect on this last. And it's working perfectly. Wasted so much time. The Uber didn't get out of shutter. They just felt so confident. They lose their dispenser. I guess they can maybe push, but they are going to lose players. One player just go down into water, looking for that opportunity, but has been spotted out. As a little bit of spam through main from Nazboy, but they haven't got any frags, haven't got the sentry down, and they've lost their Uber advantage. Now going to Permzilla. Now they're going to be looking to push out. If they do it the nice and clean way, which they are. Cadus setting up his traps. They're pushing through onto River eepily. And it was just a scrappy last push coming out of 6. So they're pushing out now. Soldier dropping in, looking to go onto Perm. Is going to force them out, Nubby. They're now looking for another frag onto it, not to waste his Uber. Soldier going behind. They're chasing into choke. And they're not able to get onto anyone eepily. So
no.
The Uber's coming back in. This is chaos. They got 2. Starkey and Solentes. That's not good. Nazboy and Everex are down.
Yeah, this is just
going in.
Yeah, they're just walking straight on in. Oh my days. Scout class gonna walk straight forward, obliterating Nubby, getting the position towards point as well. Yeah, absolutely nothing they can really do on the side of 6 there. Busting straight through the choke was the only goal for Super Buckworld there, and they're moving straight to second as well.
Cadus
know that
already in.
Yeah, look at this, taking all this position towards top, forcing these players just that little bit away. With all the cap time they've got as well, they can just afford to sit there and chill. A tiny little bit advantage, but yeah, they're surely not going to push off that, especially with a man down.
No, they shouldn't. Ubers are equal. They're playing very aggressive right now. Pyro actually coming in. Both scouts going to deal with it, but one might actually go down as he gets super low. but he is going to manage to stay alive. This Tiger took quite a lot of damage there, eepily. But really, what sort of setup are they going to do? They're going to send in Tiger. He's just going to get cleaned up by Nazboy. Nazboy knows what you're doing, Tiger. And that
he's got the brain.
He's got the knowledge, like you mentioned, playing with him. Going to know how Tiger's going to want to play. A little bit of an exchange going on, but Nubi is going to go down. And with one pick, 1 for 1, they are equal in numbers. There's a heavy and a pyro, so a mobile sentry. Instead of opting for the full hog engineer, Scout has gone below and taken a little bit, but Salenta's going down. We've got to see her back out of Super Buck right now. Set up some traps, get yourselves out, let them push in, and just see what options you can create. With 2 down, it's very, very risky, but Nazboy, denying that, knows the trap's going to be there. He must be able to see it in his point of view. Oh, he's standing right above it! They only... Oh my god, that was... Oh, if he blinded, then that would have been 2 players down. That would have been perfect, but unfortunate. Sadly, Cadus cannot see through walls, unlike the previous med for 6.
Whoa, buddy! You can't say this kind of stuff right now.
How did he know?
How did he know? No, it doesn't exist. It's fine. It's fine. We do see a continuation of this hold now. Neither team is looking to commit anything too hard at the minute. You know, it's a player or 2 here and there, then just chilling on second. So nothing massively over the top. A little bit interesting to see that Super Buckwood were too interested in getting an off class there a moment ago when they did go 2 down. Seemed like they're happy to keep things fairly cookie cutter for the minute. Obviously, I mean, going into an engine of pyro, it's pretty difficult to actually aggress into that, but at the same time, it's not the easiest to like aggress out. So both teams, they seem content just to play a little bit the waiting game. Wait for one team to make just a little bit more of a mistake than they had quite planned. Oh my days. Nazboy, he's got his right click, dude. He's got his right click. He's just staring at them. He's got the traps. What a god.
But you can tell he knows exactly what sort of plays they're going to be playing out, and he's always got a trap there to deny it. He's cleaned up so much for his team.
Makes you wonder, you know? Makes you wonder. Exactly. See, this is it, you know? You play with the team for a couple of scrims, and then it's like, oh, you know, he knows everything that's happening. Finally, we do see a spy right now. I don't know whether he's actually leaving spawn or just checking off classes. Obviously, the second they lose a player, you know, so we're having a little check, and he's doing exactly that. He's just going to be checking for any crazy off classes, going to see that nothing like that is happening on the side of Super Buck World, and they're going to be like, okay, boys, we have our pyro, we have our sentry, we'll stand here forever. I mean, you know, sometimes you just sit there and you want to commit to the round reset. I want to know at what point Super Buck World starts running some kind of off class of their own, you know, something like maybe a sniper, or, I mean, the pyro right now, he's making the plays happen. Bye, Tiger.
He's putting in work.
The thing is, okay, right, yeah, I agree, 100%, putting in work, you know, getting that frag, it's lovely, right? But at no point are they actually going to get a force from that kind of stuff. They're now moving towards lobby. This is, you know, trying to be a little bit aggressive. We saw some moment ago. Oh my... Oh, that was a dirty little headshot. That was disgusting. Okay, that's going to open things up a little bit more as well. Moving towards top. They've been spotted. They're going to be aware of that, but it actually looks like he wants to go a little bit deep. Soldier's not quite hitting the rockets either as well, so we can keep things going just a little bit more, but Scouts are going to be there to force him away, and the rest of the team will have to back just a little bit. Oh, cheeky body shot. Not quite the headshot, but still, it's keeping Super Buckworld on the back foot, which is what you kind of need to do here.
Gaz has done a great job. Like you mentioned, it's not going to cause a force, and he immediately switched out onto Sniper from Pyro, and now he's looking to really pressure Permzilla, and it's causing a huge amount of aggression out of Super Buckworld, but they are collapsing, getting 2 frags, super low on that Sniper as well, and they've turned things around. They're not giving them any space. Soldier's gone in below. No one's really there to deny it. Is there coverage from the sentry gun? There isn't to really deny him from walking onto that point, but Starkey is going to get cleaned up by Gaz, who's done so much work on this last point for his team, getting so many frags. Him and Nazboy really holding down the fort, as once again, almost Crowns like Super Buckworld are playing right now.
They do seem perfectly content just to play this much, much slower pace of things. You know, they're not feeling like they have to be the team making everything happen. Maybe they're just trusting that Six will get just a little bit impatient, but it looks like they're perfectly happy to play the slower pace as well. They're not getting baited in here as teams have often got before, so they will have the opportunity at some point, I'm certain of it. But with the way that both medics are playing, it's so hard to actually physically get a player close enough onto them, right? Like, this is... There's nothing easy about this. We do see the Spy now actually leaving spawn, so he's going to get this little bit of info. Unfortunately, losing Everex means that, like, it's more likely Super Buckwood are going to get a bit more aggressive. Sometimes this is good as a Spy, sometimes this is bad. He's just going to walk directly into Permzilla, and it'll get nothing at all.
Yeah, he got spotted instantly. Pam saw him, heard. Might actually have his game sound on, which tends to help against Spies as he decloak. The thing, the sort of strat now though is to use the eternal reward, because that has a silent backstab, and being able to already cloak, it will cost you your cloak, but if your cloak doesn't, ooh, bomb in. Starkey gets the sentry gun, gets the force as well, but Nazboy on an 8 kill streak, just on his stickies it feels like. Looking to come out now, but they're just being met with so much aggression. Bomb coming in onto Pamzilla. Nubby's going to get cleaned up instantly by the scouts. And Captain Starkey looking to push across now into upper. No. Changes their mind as I'm saying it. And now looking to go into choke. And Nazboy gets Cadence. Just 9. He's on 9.
He's such a cheeky lad. These traps are so important, and getting out alive there means that Super Buckwood can't play his Lantern anywhere near the same way. They're going to go straight through Shutter with a Scout and a Soldier. They take some decent position. There's so much damage to be dealt, and not having those Dairyman stickies makes this much, much harder. There's so many collapsing towards point. We do see Salentes just raining death. They have not even seen him somehow, but he drops down.
He dealt so much before they've seen him. Permzilla's getting chased really hard right now. He has got the pack. He has... Oh, it's cleaned up by Cadus. Right at the end. Permzilla just backing all the way out. Doesn't even want to be a part of this. And this could start some momentum out of 6. Are they going to be looking to push forward? I think Nazboy definitely wants to go. But no one else really wants to go with him. They don't have the numbers really for it. Everything is up for Super... Well, not anymore.
They can afford surely just to chill a little bit, get all their spawners, and then look to go off their advantage, right? I mean, there's absolutely... I'm a little bit confused right now, GrumpyKoi, because I can't help but see that Jorge has 100% Uber, and they're sitting on last with an engine power.
Yeah, that's where I'm confused as well. Like, they should be going forward. You know, even if it's just to set up the traps with Nazboy, get themselves up into Upper River and look for a frag somewhere.
I believe there's a pretty decent chance that, yeah, they're just going to play the round timer at this point. Instead of committing forward to the second, I mean, honestly, it's not the most exciting play, but sometimes it just definitely makes sense. From the point of view of Super Buckwood, though, it means they're incentivized to just do whatever they want. They've actually gone for a trade-through shot. It's a much, much better Uber for the side of 6, but they managed to take down the gun, so possibly the repush could be on. There's players already towards point, forcing these 6 players at least to go into a slightly disadvantageous position. Walking now through Shutter.
Oh, no.
Captain with a meaty little 180, but it is a 3 versus 4. The damage has been dealt, looking good for the side of 6.
It's got so much on point. Oh my god, he had so many sticks on point. He just walked up, managed to clean up 2, but it wasn't enough in the end. And with 48 seconds left on the round, I haven't seen a round reset in a very long time.
No, it isn't really necessarily a go-to strat. I think the last time I saw it was on Sunshine a good few weeks ago. Obviously, right now, I mean, from the point of view of Super Buckwood, it's time to all just jump in and hope for the best, and they're going to do exactly that. Captain is below point. The rest of the team should be coming in pretty soon. Obviously, there's an entire Uber to be dealing with. Nazboy just racking up the damage and the frags as per usual, and the rest of these players should just be going down one by one. I don't think even Tiger can manage to go through and kill everyone. No! Not when he walks over stickies as well. I think we will be seeing a round reset here, going into another mid-fight.
Yeah, just Nazboy abusing the fact that last and lobby are just a demo man's playground, and just Super Buckwood couldn't break well, him and Gaz were laying down. You could feel that they had a really secure hold. It's interesting going for the round timer, but now we'll see as our second mid with no rounds on the board goes in. And Nazboy a lot quicker this time, able to deal some damage onto the people coming in Super Buckwad as they double bomb their soldiers in, trying to get in. Selenites will go down. Jorge gets cleaned up by Starkey though, as all the damage comes out from Super Buckboy. Oh no, Nazboy actually going to go into Big Door, trying to escape, but he's going to get cleaned up, and that's a full wipe for 6. And Super Buckworld taking that out, getting the mid. That was good from them, eepily. Just good TF2.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking pretty decent for like a little bit. I think Evrex has ended up getting, I don't know, he was in that nasty little situation where he got slightly caught on a wall and then there was just 2 scouts staring at him, so he couldn't commit deep. And then he was a little bit useless there. And then obviously, you know, picking up Jorge nice and early. At least they did manage to get Permzilla here, so it will be an equilibrium situation. There'll be no just stomping straight through to last. We do find ourselves in a very similar position. I think we've been here before, actually. I remember something along these lines.
I think it happened it started about 10 minutes ago, and now we're back here. And Nazboy and Cadus having a little exchange. Just a little bit of a crouch off, a little bit of a jump off.
Oh, that's nice. That's
nice. That's wholesome.
I'm glad they found something to do.
Oh my god, this is so Crowns-esque. Look at them. They're streaming. This is brilliant. This is good. Oh, they're having a little conversation. Everyone else is just spamming. And these two are just staring each other down.
That's nice. That's good. That's lovely.
That's wholesome.
It is very wholesome. I wonder.
Other,
I was gonna say, I wonder who's gonna try and kill the other one next. You know, that'll be quite nice.
Oh, Gas goes super low as Now's trying to spam on. Tiger looking for a little opportunity to go in. That was Captain. Never mind. Obviously, they're all wearing the same hat. What is that hat they're wearing?
I'll be honest, I don't have my encyclopedia of hats quite
it's the
ready.
beanie.
It is, yeah, it's a bee hat. That's the only information I have. You know what I'm going to do, GrumpyKoi? I'm going to talk about some other aspect of the video game for a second, which isn't hats, for just a moment. Sorry to ruin all the fun a second, right? Let's take a moment to think, right? If you were, let's say you're the attacking team right now, right? GrumpyKoi, using your massive brain, what would be your go-to? I feel like there's a lot of stuff you can do, like sack guys in, go pyro and water, weird stuff you can do there. I mean, there's banners you can do. I've not seen anyone use any banners yet. A little bit surprising, honestly, considering they can be pretty fat in these exact situations.
Yeah, just an exchange and then a repush with a banner would be a really good play from either team. But they do clean up Nubby, and that could create an opportunity. But the pirate is on point, denying the scout is going to go in. But scout can sometimes be the rock to the scissors that is a pyro. So looking to go in, deal some damage onto it, and super low. But so much collapse from the push out. Oh my god!
Grumpy, what? I blinked.
What?
I blinked and they all died!
I didn't even see what happened. I was too busy watching the... What? What? Hello?
They've not even won yet! They don't even win! They don't even win that push!
What? What? They come out of lunch... Did they have a fight in Lunchbox? What?
What's Lunchbox?
I don't know Lunchbox.
What map are you thinking of right now, Grumpy?
Launchpad. Not Lunchbox. That's Granary.
Okay, right. We're off last. We know what's going on. Right, okay. This is an uber advantage for Jorge. Only about 30% or so. They're trying to bust through the choke regardless. Evrex walks to his maker. He just doesn't want to exist anymore. Little bit questionable there. We do see Jorge just about to get it, so they can still go if they want to go for some like deep jump. Nazboy potentially feeling it, or they can also just kind of not want to go too much and just chill a little bit.
I'm trying to reboot my brain. I don't know what happened. Why did I say Lunchbox? I meant Launchpad. They don't even sound the same.
Everyone makes mistakes, Grumpy. We do see sort of jumping on in now. Going to get that tiny little bit of damage. Not anything more. No force, no drop, nothing like that. That would be a little bit too much to ask from a single soldier bomb. So, player advantage. Oh, Nubby getting a nice little speed shot in. He's going to get air shot as well, which is a little bit sad. But it is going to be keeping things nice and chill. The old timer is getting a little bit low as well. 10 minutes left on the clock in total right now. And neither team has been willing to... yeah, neither team is willing to kind of concede anything too much. It is actually turning into a bit of an Uber trade here. Evrex famed for his Uber trades, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to commit hard on this at all. It is going to be a bit of a reset. He's keeping a close eye on this choke point because obviously going for a trade on choke and then a big old repush onto big doors. Pretty good strap. It's actually been Nasboy picking up this frag. Evrex trying to bully on through. He gets that decent damage, but it's difficult to work that player advantage when you're trying to go through such a tiny little choke point.
And really, right now, it is just the classic mid to second stalemate. And no drop down plays. Everyone's set up quite defensively where I'm thinking sniper right now, eepily. No,
yeah,
that's where my brain's going as Cadus actually goes down to Nasboy. Nasboy just being an absolute bane of the existence of Super Buckworld. And they're still not going to let them in for free as they're trying to exchange just huge amounts of damage. The walking does happen, Uber does go out, and Hawaii's kept hold of his. So maybe a recommit from them and a collapse as they do wait really, really long. They're going to get captain, but Super Buckworld straight out, not going to lose anyone else. There's a soldier on top. No one's really spotted him as he's just been spotted right at the end. He's now going to try and bomb in. Look to go onto the demo as well. Going to bomb back in, get onto Nasboy. Nasboy is going to go down. Valentes putting in work for his team. But Permzilla went down in the chaos. So Jorge's got an Uber advantage. So they're going to be looking to maybe collapse onto him as Tiger doesn't manage to 1v3. Now Soldier having a fight in River. Starkey is going to get cleaned up as well. And again, Super Buckworld backing out. Overextending too many players, Eep.
Yeah, just a little bit overly aggressive there. Thought they could perhaps hit everything. I mean, it makes sense, you know. You lose your advantage, you try and get onto theirs, but it was Sixers playing too tight, too much as a unit, making sure they can play around this Uber advantage. It is 80% now, and it looks like the team wants to try and start moving forward to take this point for free, which it makes a great deal of sense, but losing Nubby and Evrex getting so weak as well, they're just about getting the Uber. They might even just about lose Nasboy here as well. Yeah, they've actually lost 3, and now they've had to use their Uber as well. Even getting like 2 or 3 frags here would be a bit of a detriment, but it's actually Tiger on the back lines coming in immediately, but getting a little bit destroyed there by both those scouts who were still actually a tiny bit Ubered there, so maybe it's slightly optimistic, but I mean a good clean force for Super Buckworld, and they can look to try and start moving towards second if they would like. 80% on Permzilla. They've just got to be aware of these hiding players, because obviously, I mean, this is Super Buckworld. They're going to be looking to try and take this for free if at all possible. I actually don't think Nubby's been spotted. He's going to jump straight in. Oh! And he sinks the rocket!
Our control point.
Oh, that was so good. Sinking that rocket onto them. Like, you could see that the soldier jumped up, did search for him, but didn't realise he was up in the air. And he gets that sink onto Permzilla. But Super Buckworld, even though they're losing a med, have still turned it into a push. Exchanging got Nasboy. Now lost Starkey and Solentes though, so they're gonna have to back out, set up some traps with Cadus and wait for their soldiers to come back. But really well played by Super Buckworld not to just panic and back out and start bleeding players. They started taking things against them. Tiger though, walking in through main, does get cleaned up. And big pressure coming out of 6 onto second right now. But the players in Big Door are going to cause a bit of damage and a bit of slowdown, really, for Nasboy to be able to come out. Now he's trying to deal with them as little Door, and he's taking a huge amount of damage. Whilst it's happening, there's a fight going on in battlements. There is so much going on right now. So many little mini fights, eepily. It seems like Super Buck are taking individual fights a lot of the time.
I mean, it makes so much sense then, right? Like that perfect little bit of kind of pressuring back and forth, that's actually basically denied that entire Uber advantage. That is a really, really significant thing to do where you just, you know, you get one pick and then this guy's pressured, then the next guy's pressured, then the next guy's pressured, and no one feels quite comfortable or in a good position to go forward. So suddenly that 60% Uber advantage turns basically into nothing. And once again, we're an equal Uber, equal player situation. Super Buckworld still, you know, just about getting a better end of that situation. Unfortunately, they've not really been able to do a great deal in terms of actually sorting out last.
No, they really haven't. And the sentry has not been set up. That's such a slow. All the exchange onto Everx with Starkey. Not perfect. They want to be getting that Nazboy pick or that sentry gun down, as they are starting to spam it now. It's been such a slow game, just not able to beat it. But look at the time on the point out of Tiger. The Pyro is very low. Is going to start getting healed now. Would have been spammed away. And that can open up some opportunities for pressure. Potentially out of Super Buckworld, but they're not wanting to take it.
Yeah, I mean, player down. They're clearly not looking to do anything overly risky in this game in general, but especially not with the player down. Looks like they might just go for a trade instead. We do see both Ubers getting used now, the gun dying as part of that trade. So again, the repush could be potentially on here, and with the way that the Ubers went, there's no real chasing Nazboy can do. He's rotating now to get some spam towards the riverside, so if they do try and walk in, we'll be looking there to spam. Unfortunately, they've started walk through a little bit. Perm has actually died, so it might be what they need to try and commit towards point. They're starting to get so
that was
point,
so
and they're just standing
good.
on it.
That was so good. Again, even though they lose perm, they don't panic and they just keep pushing forward. And they got the picks they need. They forced the players back. The med was all alone, not able to heal his team, so they managed to get that round eepily. And with 3 minutes 45 remaining, could we potentially see a really good round out of 6? Do they have that vigor now that they've lost a round? You know, sometimes it can cause some teams to kind of snap and become even more aggressive as the double bomb does come in. Starkey and Salenta doing so much work. Nazboy being down. So many players on 6, a super low trap in elbow. And Jorge does go down, Everx and Gaz, and that's going to be a wipe onto 6. Again, Super Buckworld going into second. Going to be against that, you know, that iron curtain of a last that, you know, they only managed to break in this 30-minute game. They only managed to break at the 26 mark. And that was of a very, you know, that wasn't just through a raw push. That was through, you know, a few fights here and there, and an overextension going for the med and them not panicking and just cleaning up those players.
Well, this time they're going to find themselves with a massive Uber advantage and everything seemingly in their favor. They want to, yeah, they walk through just a little bit without using, but ultimately will be forced off just about towards this doorway. A lot of these players towards spawn. You see Sticky's going there to try and keep them in there, but unfortunately the Soldier's going to be doing a lot of denying. Nazboy's still behind point. He does just about go down now. Start keeping up these frags, and it's just Jorge and Spawn. Second round goes. See, the first round takes about 26 minutes. The next one takes about 50 seconds. And now this is 2 minutes 15 left to go, and 6 have got to have 2 incredibly speedy rounds to even get us to Golden Cat.
Yeah, they need to right now just dominate this mid. You know, there needs to be no opportunity for the bombs to connect. They need to, you know, deny absolutely everything, get that early damage onto Demo and the soldiers as the bombs come in. Cadus has gone down, but Captain did take out Nubby, so that's a bit of an exchange right now. But a little bit slow, not able to collect anything. There's a lot of high ground going to Super Buckworld as they're pushing them out. Scouts now coming back in, trying to clean up players. Good. Why?
Yeah,
Scouts,
this is...
house. Woo.
I mean, this is doable. Even not playing the cap arm in mid is actually going to be really, really significant because it's 1 minute 30. They're still capping mid. They need to cap second as well and have a really good push onto last, get the spawners in. And I mean, at this point, any individual death on the side of 6 might kind of spell the end of their opportunity to really do things. They basically need to be moving right now. 1 minute 15 on the clock. They need to be pushing already, really, to stand any possible chance at all. They don't even really have time to buff. They just need to, like, go. They need to just go straight to the shot to have everything work out well for them. Picking up the gun first. There's forces of these players towards spawn. They've already lost one player. They've not managed to take down Cadus behind point, so he's going to still be a thorn in their side. He's just about goes down now. They are playing towards point. There's heavy standing on it, though, and it's all Voxy and Jorge towards main. 50 seconds left on the clock. It is officially not possible for them to get back in this game. That will be our first map going the way of Super Buckworld.
That was I think that was the second time during this game that we had 6 in the last of Super Buckworld. I think most of the time it's just been in sixes. Six is half of the map. For like, I'd say about 25 minutes of this game.
Yeah. And that was just the first round.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
God.
we see everyone's going everywhere on mid. Nasboy,
Yeah.
no one hits the air shot on him. Little bit unfortunate. We see back caps going on, but ultimately, even if they manage to get this, be more of a sympathy. We see some 1v1s happening, asserting some dominance as Rockset goes towards last. Win the 1v1, doesn't win the second. That is going to be game, set, and match. Apart from not, it'll actually only be game.
Quick prediction from you, just before we come into this mid-fight, eepily. Who's going to take this map? Super Buckwald or 6?
I'll say it again, I think this will be slightly favoured towards 6. I'm going to say to 55% to 45%. I think this will be 6.
I think this will be Super Buckwald. I feel like there's some things we haven't seen out of them. It'll be depending on how these mid-fights go, and I think that's going to be very much down to how Salentes and Stark play this off, as we do see a very, very high soldier in as Nazboy does go down, but 3 players are actually down for Super Buckwald. So 6 now going on to Cadus. Cadus is going to go down, and 2 players. One's getting trapped now as they're looking to maybe get onto that. He's so low, Everex. He is going to get cleaned up, but Nubby joins in, pushes them out, trying to keep them all the way out onto their last, so they can transfer this into 2 areas of control, not just 1, and to get the second control point now eepily. That wasn't bad at all from 6. You know, they dealt with that bomb very, very quickly and started cleaning up players.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been very, very easy for them to really, really hard commit to try and get onto Permzilla, try and get that medic frag to get them into an uber advantage situation. But ultimately, I feel like, you know, they understood that it wasn't really worth it too much. They kind of missed that little bit of a timing window, and it's not a bad situation for them to find themselves in. So this is equally the situation. We see a soldier going straight in, but the combined power of the gun and the power is going to take him down. Interesting series of events, but not going to be getting any kind of force. And we actually see he's going all the way through lower. Scout has spotted him, so it's going to hold him in his trails. He's going to just move on to last. It looks like Nubby's going to be... Oh, I thought he was going to hold the door, but it looks like he's going to go sniper himself. So we have just seen him very, very recently, the last round, playing sniper quite heavily on Product, and he was, you know, he wasn't insane, but he was hitting some good shots here and there. So maybe this is going to be another opportunity for him to show his prowess.
But you've got 2 scary snipers on the opposing team that if they decide to switch off, you know, if you get Starky on it, it could be interesting, because if they want, they can swap captains and Starky at any point to put that out. But actually, captain's going to go down to Nubby. He's got 1 frag dispenser down from Nazboy, so this could be an opportunity to push. They decide not to, as they take so much damage. And Nubby looking for, again, a little bit of a hard peek, but it's going to get denied very, very nicely by Salentes. And really, they're looking to slowly edge their way in. It's nice to see Salentes playing pocket, to be honest. He's played Roma previously, but he's always kind of mainly been a pocket in my eyes. Especially I-58 Salentes. You know, full tilt.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it was only really ever on this version of 7 I think he kind of played Rome in terms of the likes of top prem. Meanwhile, while we're going through all this, we actually see Nubby getting a lot of space towards all the way far left. He getting this little bit of space. He does get that opportunity to hard peek. He's going actually for a deep old peek now. Not quite getting the right angles though. Taking the damage as well, which will force him back. But in doing that, they did just about bait out a little bit of aggression from Starky. So once again, player advantage moving towards this left-hand side. I mean, Super Buckwald's going to be hyper aware of this. Oh, the cheeky little headshot taking down Tiger as well. 2 players actually still down. It's not good spawns for the side of Super Buckwald at all. I mean, do they try and commit someone in along with the sniper? They don't have much of a window to go with. The gun is dead. I feel like if they want to get a jumper, they kind of need to do it now, but it seems to be they're perfectly happy playing with the sniper for just a minute. Not going to be quite hitting that headshot at all. It is going to go back to a 6 versus 6. It seems like Nubby's going to have to hit something just a little bit more, maybe a demo pick, or obviously the dream would be getting the drop on Firmzilla.
yeah, and he's just rotating constantly. You can see that he's trying to look for those angles. You know, even if they, you know, you mentioned it, but getting both soldiers down won't be a bad pick. You know, if they can rotate, take one, rotate, take the other, then push in. That's a lot of splash damage they don't have to deal with. But right now, Soldier Everhex looking like he was almost thinking of pushing in. A headshot rings out though from Tiger this time. And Tiger, terrifying sniper to play against, is now up on the field, and he's looking for some heads to click on himself. And really, really slow last, but I think this is how Six want to play it. They want to get a pick. Almost, oh, a headshot straight on to Nubby, but he's got that overheal, so he's going to be able to stay alive. And Nubby ready to go back, changing to
He's
going for
just
some sort of hero play. What?
That was genuinely really, really nice rotating from Permzilla. Like, I don't know whether that was just pure luck or whatever, but he was actually the exact opposite side of that pillar the entire time he was moving on through. So that was, oh, I feel like a little bit bad for Nubby there. He was giving it a go, you know. Lucky boy got lucky there. I guess Nubby just got a little bit unlucky. So we will see him returning on Sniper. He's not quite done showing things off a little bit. Unless he's still having a little bit of a discussion. Oh, actually. See, okay. That makes a lot of sense, right? You may just think maybe that's like slight indecision, but there's a fair chance, more than fair I'd say, Nubby's staying Sniper and Spawn so that if anyone on the side of Super Buckwood was checking him, if they were Spy checking the off-class, they'd see Sniper, then they'd change off, do whatever, whereas he's actually on Spy, right? I don't think anyone actually did that, right? But this is like the 4D chess gameplay, you know, we're talking about. He's
already in.
Smart boy.
He's already in. He's trying to go. Oh, he's now going to have to try and get another stab. He's not going to get anything. He's going to get cleaned up as Tiger cleans up two with the shotgun.
That's so unfortunate. You get the backstab, but then he already gets forced in the next up, and then he gets Ubered. And it's just like, dude, it's like, great, you got the force, but he's going to feel bad now. That wasn't what you wanted. Right, well, at least they have the Uber advantage, right? At least they got the Uber advantage. They'll be looking good. They're going to get their spawners in. This should be a... I mean, they're going to look for a clean little last push, get themselves finally a round on the board. It'll be the dream, but they don't have forever. They've got to start making their way into lobby.
Yeah, they're going to be looking to go into lobby now on the left-hand side, potentially. As really, it's down to how they want to take this. They're going to go right. They're going to go straight in on the scout, and they're looking to get that sentry gun down. They managed to get it down right behind, but the pyro is reflecting quite a lot. The Uber has faded. Now they need to collapse on the rotated Super Buckworld, and the scout's gone for the medic, managed to clean him up. Cadis has gone down as well, but Nubby and Jorge are the only ones left. Scout chasing now, looking to get in. Nubby is going to go to Tiger. Tiger is now chasing. You know, you don't want to let him get onto Jorge because Jorge's going to die so late, but Everex, nice direct onto Tiger, cleans him up, and Jorge stays alive.
Oh, the recontest. I really like this idea. They know there's only 2 players from the side of Super Buckwood, so even just by showing presence there, it had to be immediate, and they perfectly timed that, actually. So that's really, really good stuff. It would have been very, very easy to just slightly delay a second there, wait for your spawners, but they didn't do that, and it was 100% the correct play. So recapping second, that's instantaneous. They now have their 30% advantage as well. So once again, they'll find themselves an opportunity. This time, it's nowhere near as significant, so they'll have to find a lot more success. They can't afford to be as delayed as they were last time. Otherwise, Permzilla's just going to get his Uber and just basically walk straight back at them.
Oh no, they lost Pox straight away as they go on the right-hand side. They're going to clean up that sentry again, eepily, and rotation out of Super Buckworld is met this time. Cadis is completely separated, slapped against the wall, but Nubby is going to go down. Jorge's running out, and they hold. This is just exactly the same situation on Gully, but Snake Water. Not Snake Water, Sunshine. My brain does work, I promise. Sunshine. But, you know, like, 6 are now Super Buckworld, and Super Buckworld are 6, it feels like. We've had so much time on Super Buckworld's side of the map, and even though they are pushing in now, 6 are going to want to hold this to the best of their ability, as they have got to force that Uber, because they could risk this going coast to coast, as Permzilla is not being contested too much. Some spam going out, but Nazbo's going to get cleaned up. There is a cheeky little trap, but it's not going to connect onto anyone, as Cadis does die. Scout is behind, dragging Super Buckworld back. Can 6 maybe get some pressure forward, as it looks like Nubby and Everex are looking to apply that. Everex does go down. Uber has come out, and Jorge is at 96, 97.
Oh, no!
He needs to get a sword. Just on someone. No, he's going to get cleaned up, and that's pretty much a wipe.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I 100% respect that decision. Like, if they could have just denied that choke just that little bit more, they could have kept that space, it would have been so, so fat. But I mean, the timing, it just didn't work out. You know, Super Buckworld was just too quick on the draw. Now they're going to find themselves uber advantage. They're going to find themselves with second point as well.
Our control point
I mean,
is being captured.
Nubby in fourth spawn on the back burner. I mean, it's optimistic. I don't. Yeah,
It would have
didn't
been
really do
beautiful.
anything at all.
It would have been in like 3,000 IQ play if they didn't check that and he just walked out and got like 2 people with the back burner.
If only, you know. If only.
Oh,
Anyway,
I would have screamed.
they would have screamed. Your neighbors would have issued noise complaints. Actually, all of this building on the side of 6 has basically got them the Uber already. It's about a 5% advantage, not even that. So actually, the second they jump in, Jorge's already got his Uber. They're going to commit quite a lot in. It's going to be quite a considerably better Uber for Jorge. It was a little bit unfortunate losing Gazy here, but the rotate is going to be met by a fully Ubered Voxy, who's going to be picking up Hades, but then dying himself. So
Permzilla is... Oh no, he's not all alone.
He's
dragging
the distraction.
Solantes! No way!
Oh, that's so crazy. That's so crazy. The perfect little distraction. And still just stands there spamming his rockets down, winning his team the round. Not quite a 26-minute round this time, more like a 10-minute, but putting them in the driver's seat once again as we go into this second mid here.
I can't believe that. That was so big brain as we come into the second mid. And Cade is taking a little bit of damage, but they are setting things up onto Bell Tower. Soldiers have wrapped around. High bomb coming in onto Permzilla. Permzilla's going to take a lot. He manages to circle around, but Nubby's looking for diamonds, and he's going to take out the heart of Permzilla with that pickaxe. And Captain is behind, going to get cleaned up. The Scouts winning the fight. And 6 winning that mid again, and now looking to go forward into second. Nazboy looking to set up a cheeky little rock trap. Little bit of clipping.
Our control
Is he
point
going to get
is
anyone
being
with it though?
captured.
I feel like it's an optimistic one, but not absolutely impossible. 6 are very content to try and get a hold of second, but Super Buckworld don't have any interest
nearly.
in letting them get control of that. They're going to be getting straight forward onto second. If that trap had got perm, I probably would have also screamed, but not quite. Not quite today, so we're going to revert to a little bit of stalemate situation. Scout hiding. Oh, and he gets out, and the frag from Nazboy is actually going to open this up a little bit. We see both soldiers going super, super deep, but not actually securing these frags either. It's actually somehow Super Buckworld who are getting the much, much better end of this.
That was some big attempts from 6, and it looked like they were going to be able to capitalize on it, but they just got cleaned up. They went into the arms of Super Buckworld, and they just ate them up, killing their players, and now there's only 2 left. They're in an awkward situation where they don't really want to be losing any further rounds, and because of this, Jorge's wanted to play close. He has got Uber, so they're maybe looking to bring their players in at the last second to have this Uber exchange. It's a little better on Jorge, but there is a bit of flashing as they're trying to deny it, try and knock him around. Going into Cafe though, and Super Buckworld are going to be able to get out. They're not going to be able to chase that. You don't want to chase a demo into a confined space as your Uber is fading. You will get mulched. And 6 doing the right thing, holding back.
Yeah, you can see them immediately getting on building as well. The second there's any kind of a trade like that, especially one where the enemy team uses slightly earlier, you've got to make sure that you're immediately getting onto the building, because literally just building an Uber can build you like about a 10-15% advantage or something, and sometimes that's literally all you need for like a double scout Uber or like a scout soldier. Sometimes, you know, those last few percentages can be just not quite there, and then suddenly you find yourselves in a dodgy situation. So playing it smart right now on the side of 6, not leaving anything to chance, but it does look like we're going to get a little bit equal again. More opportunities for deep. Soldiers coming in. Starkey, he gets a little bit weak. One rocket on Jorge. Not getting the force, though. No, quite a lot of damage.
Nazboy is bringing out some of the weirdest and creative traps I've seen in a while. Like, he's just hiding everything in geometry and props and stuff like that. The bomb does come in from Nubby. He's hiding it in the window. He's now hit it in that pipe, and they're going to look to maybe force a rotation out of Super Buckworld and maybe force something into them. No, they're going to be going on the right hand side. They're not going to be going for any sort of play like that. Scout coming in left has been spotted. They've taken so much damage in cafe, and bombs coming in straight onto Perm. What a force!
Clean, that is.
Beautiful, and he's out of there. It's being chased by 3 players. This is a perfect opportunity for Six just to walk in. They need to clear that trap and just walk in. There's so many players that are just coming back in now, and they are not in a comfortable spot. Looking to bomb in now. We've got a soldier from Super Buckworld going into their cafe, dragging some players back. Don't want to fall for that too much. His Tiger will just shoot you in the back, but they're now surrounded. Soldier bombing in onto Jorge. Jorge surfing away, but damage is still going in. Tiger wants to pressure anyone and is going to go down to Gaz. Just so much pressure from both teams, and Six actually holding their own really nicely against this unrelenting pressure the Super Buckworld are putting on them.
This is like absolute like rat TF2. Every time anything happens, they're just like, right, we're going to threaten a back cap, threaten a back cap. Uber has been using, guess what? They're threatening a back cap. It's going to be very, very difficult for them to commit towards this mid block, so the soldier on the back lines isn't going to do a great deal. It is still Nubby aware of him as well, and picking him up with a crispy little rocket. So only 3 players on the side of Super Buckworld. They have gone Uber though. On second, they do want to commit to it, but it doesn't look like they're quite willing to just yet. If they want to go for a repush, they can, but they're still just about getting the spawners in for their soldiers, and it is only about 50%. And obviously, this whole time they are still 1 round up, so it looks like they might be happy to set things up on last. Yeah, they're just getting a sentry up there, going to play this as an equal situation. Pushing out onto second is pretty difficult as is, and like we've already said about 100 times so far, doesn't look like Super Buckworld are looking to take any more risks than they need to.
They really can't afford to lose any players now, because Six are going to be gunning for that round. They've got 14 minutes left to, you know, get around. That's a comfortable amount of time, especially when you're on the last of your opponents. They can be thinking of some sort of strat. Bringing out the Nubby sniper might not be a bad idea, getting some rotations, but then playing off them a little bit more aggressive, as Soldier does go in, but Nubby is going to go down. So that might be the sack for a sniper. As I mentioned, we'll see when he comes back in 10 seconds. Captain did go down as well, and they managed to get Salentes just before he gets Jorge, trying to get a force onto him. So things are looking good for maybe some sort of aggressive payout. They spotted the trap that would have easily ended Jorge's life. I don't think he was really expecting that to be there, but the sentry gun is down, Starkey's down as well. So they're able to just to slowly push in. The Uber's going to come out, Jorge's going to counter that out. It's a little bit better for Jorge. They need to force some flashes. They're looking to lead right now, not get any collapse onto them. And Ubers are going to equal out. They've lost 2. They've got Gaz and Everex in the respawn queue, but they are coming back. But Super Buckworld pushing really aggressively. Scout's going to go super low. He's just a chip shot away. Oh my god, Cadus just bombs in old school style. Gets Jorge. Nazboy getting cleaned up by Captain. And Super Buckworld had a really good push out and just cleaning up the last remnants of Six.
That's yeah, that's not looking hot. Like that trade on last in the end, like they lost 2 players. Six just, I don't know, that's just like the weirdest little situation to get into. It should be absolutely just like, you know, an equal kind of tradey repush, and it's, I mean, every time Super Buckworld's been doing it, they're just perfectly able to, but somehow the pressure's just not quite there when it's on Six's end of the map. So now we do see always walking straight on in. The body shot is actually going to be onto Tiger, so they're trying to force off this Uber at some point. Still, Permzilla's absolutely insistent. He's just like, I will not use. I have absolutely no interest. They pick up both soldiers. They're still walking towards point. The big pipes from Nasboy. They make it a little bit more difficult, but still, no frags, no force, nothing like that. Jorge will be getting his own Uber. They possibly just want to go fast off this. Actually, they potentially have a slight Uber advantage, but they're going to be using theirs. Jorge will have to use his just as he leaves spawn. If we're trying to rotate towards the top right-hand side, at least to try and get some heals. The chase from Six can't really be on into lobby. They don't have that much of an advantage. And yeah, it's Super Buckworld just getting onto this high ground, getting this position where they can try and get some deep damage. And it's so much damage coming in as well.
Oh my god, Super Buckworld with a perfect rotation, just collapsed on the other side of the point onto Six, and 3 players instantly died in that. There was nothing they can do. That was some good post-Uber fights. Not backing all the way out like you know, teams expect. They saw the chase coming, so they just rotated round and collapsed onto them, because you could tell that Six were like, what do we do? They're not leaving.
Yeah, it's a classic little exchange play. Regardless of whether you thought it was going to be a full push or an exchange, after exchange you go for that rotate and the push. Aggressive plays from Nubby starting off this mid, but he's going to get taken down, soon to be followed by a whole handful of other players. Importantly though, Jorge was one of them, along with the rest of these players, one by one on the side of Six getting picked apart. It is only this one remaining scout hiding towards a cafe. He's going to try and go for the cheeky little block here. It's Tiger currently on it. He does have the drop on him a little bit. Going to be this 1v1,
no.
but Tiger's going to win it. The DM beast that he is, securing that little bit of an advantage there.
Tiger just proving his 1v1 skill. That's one scout you don't want to see on point when you're trying to stop it.
No,
is Tiger.
I wouldn't want to see him ever in my game. Actually, I'd be terrified.
Yeah. Remember, he's playing very, very aggressive, but because of that, he's just not been a part of his last push that's coming on the right-hand side. As once again, Super Buckworld is just collapsing onto Six, and Cade is still in, looking to get that frag. Now onto Nazboy, surfing away, is going to get cleaned up. I think he was just having fun at that point. He knew there was no real risk, and Pamzilla just gets to stroll back to his team.
Yeah, he just gets to walk away, say, hey guys, how's it going? I know I don't have Uber yet, but I mean, I can still be of some use. Six going to get second point, going to have their big Uber advantage. Going to waste no time at all, moving towards this valley position. We have a sniper in spawn, and it looks like they can play right for it. My god, Nazboy is in the skybox and getting basically no damage. Oh, not quite what you want here. They managed to get that one all-important pick. But the next part of this fight is going to be all about preventing Super Buckworld from walking back in if they so wish, and they don't wish.
Why did they use their
play
Uber?
Disadvantage. I think the idea was that Nazboy was going to go super, super deep and try and pick off Perm, but I mean, Permzilla was just playing so much it was a choke point. There was no way of locking him in. It was just, you know, that was about as good a jump as he was going to get. Now players are getting traded, and it is going to be actually a slightly disadvantageous position. If Super Buckworld want to commit, they've got to do it missing two, and it looks like they're just going to back right now.
They are, and pressure coming out of Six. They've got 8 minutes to get 2 rounds. They've got an Uber out of Pamzilla. He is going to go forward. They are going to lose one. They've lost the second, but now they've got their Uber. Ooh. No, they lost Nazboy to Captain. And now they're just 3 players with their Uber. They're getting chased by Super Buckworld. The collapse is coming in. They are surrounded by players. Jorge juking and jiving, staying alive with around 5 players alive for a very long time, but he is going to go down. Super Buckworld just in control right now. Just fully playing their game.
Yeah, they had everything they wanted in that situation. They had the man behind, they had players in front. It was just all looking hot there. Jorge's still not even alive yet, so none of these players are going to have any buffs. Any damage that's being dealt is permanent right now, and that's how Everex is going to meet his maker. The rest of their players are going to be chilling. They have no real choice right now. 40% is the advantage Pamzilla has right now, and it looks like they can take all the time in the world right now to just buff everyone up. This should be a nice and comfortable push. Everyone should be nice and healthy. Everyone should have ammo. Everyone's reloaded. All that good stuff as they try and move towards point. Aki looks to try and get that gun before the push starts. I don't think he'll quite manage it, but that's obviously something which is super important, not having to waste your ammo in that Uber. But here we go. Top right, Uber's going to get used. Cadis is walking straight on in.
And Cadis has just separated again the team from the spot that they need to be, and he can just, like, look at this slow fight. They're just, you know, taking the fight. They've managed to get the Uber out for Six though, but this is a precarious position for Six to be in. Look, they're not leaving. They don't want to have that rotation onto them, even if they've managed to get Pamzilla down. They know that that's a threat, so they've taken it slow. Now they're pushing out Super Buckworld. Oh, Tiger and Captain though, looking to want to take some fights, dealing a lot of damage. They are going to start backing out. Oh, they're just like ducking in, ducking out. Now it's a huge amount of aggression. Tiger is going to get cleaned up for being just a little bit too far forward.
Oh my god. Okay,
what
the
is
cheeky
happening?
Starkey is going to get punished. A little bit too cheeky. Too much today. He won't be getting anything from his extravagant little plays. Instead, it's going to be Six walking straight onto mid. The captain picking up Natsboy and somehow Everex? That is the exact opposite of what you want in this situation. Hoya hasn't actually got his Uber yet, and with Nobby going down as well, this actually can be Super Buckworld basically tearing open this mid fight if they want. If they're super eagle-eyed, they'll be able to see that Hoya doesn't quite have his just about. Will be getting it now. It's going to be a double scout. Chariots of Fire going straight through this choke point. Permzilla still 94% right now, but the scouts know they can't overchase. There's no hard commit they can do here, especially when that soldier's going to be jumping straight on in. Even him losing his life, though, not going to matter too much. Losing Starkey actually will make a difference now. Having no soldiers, Permzilla's Uber has been used. They've only really got one from it. If you're Six, I think they've just got to try and commit. Like, picking up Perm would be fantastic right now.
This is really good for them. They can just commit in. They can just push the players out. They've got a scout for them to fall back on. He needs to win a 1v1 or get on someone. No, he's surrounded by players. And the collapse happened. Choke onto them as well.
They took so much damage. They took so much damage at that choke point. That was just like insane. Literal demo man class just spamming all of their projectiles and like just preventing Six from going anywhere. Stacking this mid rule. I believe they just about managed to prevent those fort spawns as well. Yeah, they did. That's... Oh, they could have wanted just to go for an immediate stack. They actually sent a scouting tiger straight in towards Hoya, getting so much damage and he's still not tied. Oh, okay. He just about gets cleaned up. If Jorge had died for that, that would have been like unforgivable.
That would have been heartbreaking for Six. Just letting Tiger walk in like that would have been just impossible, but he is going to stay dead right now for them. He's just coming back for Super Buckworld. And Six, how are they going to... They've got 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. They need... If they want to equalize this, they need to start playing really, really tight. And Nubby does go down, trying to get a sack play onto Permzilla. Seems like their most effective weapon against Perm and against Super Buckworld is some of the less creative pipes out of Nazboy. Like when he just sets up some well-placed pipes that aren't hidden in geometry, he catches players out. When he tries to do anything fancy like hide it in a rock or a pipe, Super Buckworld are nowhere near them for them to be of any effect whatsoever, eepily.
I think at this point, you literally just have to go for... This is like the 3-minute desperation. If you want to get 2 rounds to take us to a golden cap, you need something fast, right? I mean, most likely I would be imagining that they could just get some kind of trade, get rid of the Ubers from the situation, and go for a repush in whatever way you can. They're going to be going straight towards Cafe now. Looks like they want to do exactly that. The nice little bit of early damage there, using just that little bit earlier. They force off a couple flashes, but they're dropping Everex in the middle of this, which is a little bit of a disaster.
Oh, no.
The chase could potentially be on. The damage is pretty good, but losing both Captain and Celentes might be just the opening they need. Cadus is doing so much damage, but as long as they don't actually get the frags, I mean, it is still very possible. 4 versus 3 situation. Nubby's still in a decent position towards second. Cadus is just walked straight on in, and he picks up 2 somehow. Even Perm gets 1.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
That's so unfortunate for Six. They had such good positions then, but the commit from Cadus to get onto Jorge and Everex getting splashed into that damage with Permzilla cleaning it out, that could have been so good for Six, and they just weren't able to do it.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's pretty straightforward now. If you're on the side of Six, you have to fight. You have to fight and you have to kill them. If you get Nobby forwards, you literally just have to go and kill the entirety of Super Buckworld before Permzilla can get his Uber. Because this is 1 minute 37 seconds. There's no world where you just stand around at this point, and yet Six are building that Uber. I feel like they want to try and get an Uber. I feel like in their head they're like, well, this is GG. And I mean, technically, theoretically, maybe it is, right? But they are going to be watching this Uber come on in now. They've been building super hard, 97% on Jorge. Even, I mean, it doesn't matter how many frags they lose here. They're just going to be going straight forward towards point. Now Uber's getting used. Everex dies though as well. At least they do manage to pick up Starkey. There's 2 scouts behind at this point. Even with an Uber which is rapidly fading, it's pretty scary. The damage that's been dealt is great, but they can't actually clean them up, and they lose Jorge. And there's only 3 of their players now anywhere towards second. It is going to be all on Natsboy. Go on, buddy. Just jump in. Just go get them all. he gets sticked as well. That is gonna spell, I believe, the end of this game now. Maybe even one more round for Super Buckworld, but ultimately with 35 seconds left to go, it is impossible for 6 to get their way back in.
Yeah, they can't. And I don't want to feel like mean, but the rock trap is really cool in concept, but there were some times where I felt like Nazboy banked on that little rock trap too much, to the point where it cost his team rounds and players. Because he would be spamming pipes instead of setting up, just like your basic traps, Sometimes looking at a trap and having a trap there to slow a team's push is really effective. Like, hidden traps are good if you can get the frags, but just seeing a trap in the way, slowing your team down, can be a real nuisance. More effective than a hidden trap that no one...
Yes, it's a rough position to be in. When you just find yourself always being pressured so much more. There was some great little situations where you'd see 6 try and go in, and then just Super Buckworld would constantly pressure like 2 or 3 different directions at the same time, and then it would cause players to come back. It would cause players to get distracted. People would use ammo on things which they couldn't really afford to in that situation, and then suddenly like a 40% ad becomes no ad, and then some random guy dies, and pressure came into it pretty heavily there. And obviously, yeah, there were some rough situations. I feel sorry for sacking soldiers more than anything, because they always tend to get some of the worst logs, but they do it all in the interest in trying to help their